It was one of those evenings when the city lights glowed like scattered stars across the wet streets. The rain had just stopped, and the reflections of headlights painted the road with gold and crimson. Arav, a quiet architecture student, stood under the glass canopy of a cafe in downtown Karachi, waiting for the rain to ease completely. He wasn't a man of many words, his world revolved around sketches, blueprints, and the quiet hum of coffee machines. That's when he saw Zara. She ran across the street, holding her laptop bag close to her chest, her hair flying wildly in the wind. A tiny drop of rain slid down her cheek like a teardrop, and something in that moment struck him harder than lightning. She was radiant, not because she was perfect, but because she was real, laughing at her own clumsiness as she almost slipped near the curb. "Careful," Arav called out instinctively. She looked up, startled, then smiled. A small, thankful, heart-melting smile. And that's how it began. Chapter 2, Coffee and Coincidences. A week later, fate played its first card. Zara walked into the same cafe again, this time with her headphones on, lost in her world. Arav was there too, sketching designs for his upcoming architecture project. When their eyes met again, it felt less like coincidence and more like destiny being cheeky. "You're the guy who saved me from falling," she said, smiling. "Actually, gravity did most of the work," he replied shyly. They talked. About work, about dreams, about how both loved sunsets more than sunrises. Time slipped through the cracks of conversation. By the time they realized, the cafe was closing. As she left, she turned and said softly, "Maybe we'll run into each other again." And they did. Chapter 3, Two Worlds, One City. Zara was a marketing professional, bold, confident, and endlessly curious. Arav was quiet, reserved, and preferred silence over small talk. They were opposites in every sense, yet something magnetic kept pulling them closer. Days turned into weeks, coffee into dinners, and casual smiles into lingering glances. He found peace in her chaos. She found stability in his silence. Every moment with each other felt like the city itself, loud, unpredictable, but full of life. Chapter 4, When Hearts Collide. Love isn't always fireworks. Sometimes it's quiet moments, like when she rests her head on his shoulder while he sketches, or when he listens to her rant about her job and replies, "You're stronger than you think." But real love also tests. One night, Zara got a promotion offer, in Dubai. A dream she had been chasing for years. Arav, too, had just been selected for an architecture competition that could change his career. Both dreams couldn't exist in the same city. Silence replaced their laughter. Their hugs grew tighter, their goodbyes longer. "I don't want to lose you," she whispered. "And I don't want to hold you back," he said, voice breaking. That night, under the flickering city lights, two hearts collided, not in anger, but in pain. Chapter 5, The Distance Between Us. Months passed. Zara was in Dubai, shining in her new role, missing the man who once believed in her. Arav was in Karachi, winning awards, missing the girl who had taught him to dream out loud. They texted less, called rarely. Yet every sketch he drew had her face hidden somewhere in the lines. Every photo she took of the city reminded her of his calm eyes. Love hadn't left, it had only learned patience. Chapter 6, The Return. A year later, fate, ever so poetic, brought them face to face again. Zara returned to Karachi for a conference, her heart pounding with memories. She went to the same cafe. He was there, sitting by the window, sketching. He looked up, and their eyes met, like that first night in the rain. Neither spoke for a long moment. Then, quietly, he said, "Still running in the rain." She laughed through her tears. Still sketching strangers. They talked for hours, about what they'd lost, what they'd learned, and how love had waited, silently, patiently, stubbornly. Chapter 7, Love Finds a Way. This time, they didn't let fear decide for them. Zara shifted back, finding remote projects that kept her close to home. Arav built his dream firm, and built a life with her in it. Their love wasn't perfect, it was real. They still fought over coffee flavors and movie choices. But every morning began with a smile, and every night ended with gratitude. One evening, as the city lights shimmered, Arav handed her a small box. Inside, a silver ring, shaped like a tiny heart split into two halves joined together. "When hearts collide," he said softly, "they don't break, they become one." Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "I guess we were meant to find each other again." He smiled. "Always." And as they kissed under the same rain that once brought them together, the world around them blurred, but their love stayed crystal clear.